Right. So the second part of working with a virtual assistant is to manage your expectations. Okay. More success and less frustration. That's what we want here, guys, because I understand people have this concept that hiring a VA will solve everything for them. That in fact, like hiring any kind of employee, not just a virtual employee, but any kind of team member that you add or staff, you are just multiplying whatever problems you already had to begin with if you're not managing your expectations. And what do I mean by this? I mean that you delegate the wrong responsibility to the VA will likely lead to failure or not achieving what you want to achieve. And on the other side, on the flip side, is if you give the right responsibility to the VA, that will increase chances of business success. So in this case, as property investors, it's knowing what best to delegate to your property VA. Okay, so we've all heard about the Pareto principle. In the next slide, there's more of a definition of it. So with regards to managing your expectations, the Pareto principle with and lead generation in this instance is basically knowing what kind of work to delegate to the VA, and what how we can apply the Pareto principle here is, just one second, we basically want to be delegating 80% to the VA. So what's the 80%? It's the low value repetitive tasks to the VA. So these are the things that take up the most amount of time, that generate the least amount of success to the business, if that makes sense, in comparison to the time it takes and the effort it takes. So that's where this 80-20 Pareto principle comes in. So as we can see here from this lovely graph, there's 80%, the blue shade, which is not important, okay? So lots of admin tasks, lots of data scraping, data entry. These are things that really are annoyingly and irritatingly taking so much of our time, but they do achieve 20%, okay? And on the flip side, we've got 20% of effort, okay? And that achieves 80%. So as I mentioned earlier, it's knowing what to delegate to the VA to achieve business success. And what I want to emphasize here is that when you delegate, you mustn't equate that to transferring of responsibility. Okay, I've heard stories, for example, where the VA was given the responsibility to close deals. That's not going to work because, first of all, Filipinos, while they can speak English, we have an accent that's foreign to someone who is more comfortable listening to a British accent. So you don't want, this isn't about racism. You just don't want that kind of objection to begin with, especially if it's a phone call and that kind of closing of deals. And secondly, you paid thousands to learn what you know now with property investing. Whereas a virtual assistant, I provide my training to them, and I introduce them to basic concepts of property investing. It's a thing that they will understand what you're asking from them as a task to be delegated to, but not as a concept that then they can take action on it and be effective in solving a problem that someone who's motivated to sell might have. Okay. And this is why, wait, I'm just going to jump the gun a little bit. This is why what I'm going to be introducing to you in the next part of tonight's webinar, which is how to use your virtual assistant to find off-market deals for you, is a system that's repetitive and requires minimal instruction from you, and it's something that your VA can immediately work on.